As you're probably aware, former President Donald Trump has been taken off the Republican primary ballot in both Colorado and Maine for his role in the January 6th insurrection. Obviously, this has been very controversial. There's a lot of people who want to vote for Trump, seeing as he's leading every single GOP primary poll. But it's not just Republicans. Democrats like California Governor Gavin Newsom have spoken out against taking Trump off the ballot. At the same time, though, the lawsuit that got him kicked off the ballot was filed by Republicans. So this issue isn't as partisan as one might think. So what is the clear answer? As with many issues in the United States, this problem is twofold. First, what is the legal standing here? Was the Colorado Supreme Court correct in their decision? And second, should we personally feel different than what the correct ruling is? Really quickly, I want to encourage you to like and subscribe. It should only take a couple of seconds, it's free, and you can always change your mind later. It really helps people like me who come from a very underrepresented side of the media. Let's start with the first question. In the Colorado court's decision, they cited Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. The actual text states as follows: "No person shall hold any office under the United States who shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof." Does what Donald Trump did meet these requirements? There's a few problems to start. For one thing, Trump, despite all of his legal troubles, has not actually been charged with insurrection, let alone be convicted. Special counsel Jack Smith has brought charges against Trump for his clear attempts to overturn the 2020 election in other ways, but not specifically for his role in January 6th. The only trial that we have to go off of that Trump was actually in and relating to January 6th was his impeachment. If you recall, Trump was acquitted by the Senate, even with members of his own party voting to convict him. So with all that being said, the Colorado Supreme Court must have gotten this one wrong, right? Well, all legal matters live and die by precedent. Well, luckily for us, we have precedent that we can look to, which is the reason why the 14th Amendment was added in the first place. After the Civil War, officials from the Confederacy were barred from holding office because of Section 3, despite not actually being convicted for insurrection. The events of January 6th clearly fit the definition of an insurrection, so while Trump might not be convicted for anything, legally speaking, the reasoning is sound. Now, it's likely that the Supreme Court will overturn this decision and then we'll have new precedent to look to, but for now, I think that the Colorado Supreme Court made a good decision. What makes the second question so hard to answer is that it's built off of questions that we don't have a definitive answer to. As a Democrat, is Trump being on the ballot better for me? Yeah, kind of. Trump is a uniquely toxic candidate, which makes him one of, if not the easiest opponent for Biden to beat in the general election. If someone like Nikki Haley was the nominee, then Biden would almost certainly be a one-term president. But at the same time, I have infinitely more trust in Nikki Haley to uphold democracy than I do in Donald Trump, which also kind of makes her better for me. You see why these questions are so hard to answer? More on that in a later video. The main question that I tend to grapple with is an ethical one. Should we let voters choose candidates like Donald Trump who have no regard for our system? If we live in a free and fair democracy, should we allow voters to choose candidates who don't want a free and fair democracy? Well, countries are only as powerful as their rules. And if we have leaders who are trying to skirt those rules, that overall weakens their own legitimacy and that of our nation. Now, maybe you have a different view you'd like to share in the comments below, but I think we should let Trump on the ballot. We need to defeat people like him at the polls. Otherwise, there's nothing stopping someone who's exactly like him, but without the record, from doing the same thing. To be very clear, Trump is a loser. In 2018, 2020, and 2022, voters rejected him and his followers. We need to keep doing that until the Republican Party understands that America does not want those people. But if you disagree with me or feel like I left anything out, feel free to leave a comment and I'll do my best to respond. If you enjoyed the video, I'd strongly encourage you to like and subscribe. These conversations are important to have, and I'm always going to keep pushing to find the right and clear answers. Thanks for watching.